Is there no? Where's the comments right here? All right. How do we share this thing? Share. Let me not share this. How do you share this? See, I'm hearing you in a delay for some reason.
I haven't said anything yet.
You're like froze up. You're like freezing up every once in a while. Okay. I don't know if anyone's even seeing this. What's going on here? Do they not have for a thumbnail? I don't even know how we can share this. Does nobody know we're live? I'm confused. Let me see something else. Here we go. Works now. William Carter finally popped in. All right. Must be a delay. All right. Yeah, we had to switch it. I had to go to StreamYard quick so you guys can hear me now. It sounds fine, or at least the one guy in here watching. And now it's got just my. Let me see if I can do something.
Can you hear me too? I'm probably choppy though.
You are a little choppy, but can you hear balls?
That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and you're kind of okay. Sorry, guys. We're having many issues this morning. All right. Anyway, are you good? Balls, are we ready to roll? Ready to try to do this?
Yeah, I think we're good. We can at least try.
All right, guys. I do apologize. We wanted to get this thing started at about 10 o'clock. The original plan was to do it our normal way through OBS. Apparently nothing wants to work properly for me these days when it comes to streaming. Everything continues to try to push me away from trying to do these things. I don't know if it's signs or what it is, but I'm happy to be here this morning with my good friend Matt Balsley. How you doing this morning, brother?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right besides the complications through the beginning of this. But as I just took 2 seconds, never used StreamYard before, knew about it, so I figured we would try this route because nobody could hear us the other way. So here we are. We're ready to roll. We're ready to go. Kind of excited, really, for this auction, and we're going to get into more of why I would probably be excited for this, and really what Mended Little Hearts is really all about. And you're going to be able to share some things. You're going to be able to share some information. You're going to be able to tell us a little bit more about Mended Little Hearts, the foundation, and really what they do for people and the impact and what it has had on your life, and especially your son Maddox's life. So first thing I want to do is just kind of start out by you giving us a brief explanation of what Mended Little Hearts is about, kind of what they offer for people.
Well, first, Mended Little Hearts is a subdivision of Mended Hearts. Am I good? Choppy at all, or
just keep rolling, man? Just go.
Let's keep rolling. Okay. So they're a subdivision of Mended Hearts. Mended Hearts was formed about 60 years ago. It was a doctor got a lady that had heart surgery, one of the first successful heart surgeries in the U.S. And what they wanted to do is form a support group for people that were going through heart conditions. So it took till about 2004 till they realized that CHDs is what they're called, but congenital heart diseases are the #1 birth defect in births in the United States. And it's 1 out of, every 110 births, there's a child that's affected with a congenital heart disease. So in 2014, what they did was they formed Mended Little Hearts. And Mended Little Hearts is an organization that focuses mainly on the children and families of children that are going to be born with some sort of heart defect. And when I think of Mended Little Hearts, I kind of think of their vision. And their vision is they have three main pillars. There's support, education, and advocacy. So kind of going into each one. For support, they do multiple things. Obviously, you have like your therapy sessions that there's weekly, even to this day, they have chats every Friday night. If you just want to get together with a family or, even just a group of people that are going through something similar. And it's just an open discussion, and it can become a vent session. And it's kind of like what I look at with the card community is it's a group of people that are bonded by one thing, but that one thing doesn't define the community that's there. Mm-hmm. We're all together under the same kind of struggle a little bit as a battle with that, as a support group, but we do great things. They provide, like I said, peer-to-peer therapies. There's, let's see, I wrote down a few notes. So they do hospital visits. It's an on-site visit. They do a care bag program during their on-site visit. I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. They offer telephone and internet visits if you're having issues with doctors, if you need to find some sort of out of network, you're having issues with your doctor, you want to move somewhere else. They're the resource. They've been researching, they understand, they know who the next best in line is. Like I said, they offer group meetings. There's been a few meetings that Molly and I have gone to, Molly more particular than I have. They offer a meeting where everybody within the area meets up, and it's just kind of a meet and greet. You kind of discuss what's going on, and everywhere you go, they provide information. And their biggest thing is, they want people to spread the word. They also have social events. There's a circus that when we were up in Chicago that you got tickets to go do. They make sure that you're provided opportunities. They do an annual White Sox game. This year's the first year that they've canceled it, obviously. But the White Sox donate all the money. So there's a bunch of social events that they do there. And I consider that all kind of the support. They do educational programs. Education based on if you need a certain type of medical device for your child, what's the best way to go find that, how to research the insurance. They do programs where they go out and try and teach, new parents, new families that have found out they're affected by CHD. Here's your best resources. Here's things that you can learn from that. And just tips, helpful, information like that. And I think their biggest thing that they've done lately is advocacy. And that's their lobbying in Congress, lobbying to get more money brought in. And their advocacy, I wrote down their 5 things that they look for, or their 4 things, I'm sorry. Access to innovative cardiovascular disease treatment and devices. So obviously they want the best at an affordable price. Medication and medication therapy management. Oftentimes, with Maddox and being a minor, if you're a minor, your insurance changes from 18. And what they're worried about is now it's a pre-existing condition. They're fighting for those pre-existing conditions to never drop. Insurances have a reason to get rid of it, that you can continue your medication and don't have to make a life and death decision based on money. Right. Ensure access and expand the use and promote the use of cardiac rehab. A lot of places I know don't have a local hospital, if you think about it. Where I'm at, the local hospital is about 20 minutes away. So they work to get areas that are missing those kind of resources there. They want to build and promote, you know, areas of exercise and education for cardiac rehab alone. And then reduce the health disparities in congenital heart disease. It's very expensive. No matter what kind of heart condition you have, you're either on medication for life, you have constant doctor's visits, and it depends on your severity. So they want to make it where you as a person isn't struggling because you were born with this condition. It's not like you have affected yourself in any way, shape, or form. You were born with it. So those are like the three main pillars that I think about. The support one is probably the one that we'll see more on a day-to-day basis because, every Friday night there's that chat on Facebook. Everybody gets on it. Last week there's about 60 people. They've moved now towards like a Zoom, obviously, with everything that's going on. But that's the big one, and they do a week every year where it's congenital heart disease week. And, it's about spreading knowledge. It's about educating people. They do a support night where, unfortunately, you're talking a lot of these children when they are born with these heart defects are going to require some sort of intervention, medical intervention, usually open heart surgery of some sort. And they aren't guaranteed, obviously. A lot of kids lose this battle, unfortunately.
Right.
And there's a day, and I don't know the day offhand. It's like I said, it's during Heart Month. It's in October, I want to say. First week of October, if I'm right, or it's September, one of the two. It's coming up, though. You'll see my Twitter flooded with stuff about it. But they do a 15-minute, and we've observed it for the last 5 years, where you light a candle for 15 minutes. We just shut off everything, and that's in remembrance. And it's kind of neat because I've read stories of parents who have lost, and during that one brief moment for 15 minutes, they feel connected again to their child, and they feel
awesome.
The support that they had at one point in time in that hospital that, maybe you've never felt after you left the hospital.
Right.
Because that hospital does become your family for a short period of time. You're up there day and night if you have the opportunity to be. And if not, if you're working, the minute you're off work, you're right back there. So, I mean, it is neat to see that week brings so many people that may not feel comfortable communicating in these support groups and these chats on the week, that it just brings them out of the woodwork. My girlfriend participates in the chats every week. I kind of shy away a little bit sometimes. I try to go to them. We all deal with our situation a little bit differently too,
Correct.
So
absolutely,
I always look on the positive side. Sometimes she's a little harder on things. So, I always count my blessings with it. So it's amazing to have a group like this that, it's been 60 years of patient care. There's 300 local chapters throughout the United States, 460 hospitals and rehabilitation centers that work directly with Mended Little Hearts to ensure that their patients are getting the medical needs that they need, the rehabilitation needs, and they're working to make it to where, you can live a quote unquote normal life.
Right.
It's never fixed. It's fixed, but it's not healed by any way, shape, or form. A lot of kids have heart surgery and they are brought back, live a normal life, but it's not a normal life. You have annual checkups every year with the cardiologist. You have an EKG, an echo. It's not normal by any means. So I think the support groups are what you hear about more. The education you'll hear about a lot during, that 1 week, Heart Week. That's when you hear a lot of it. It doesn't stop throughout the year. I'll tell you that. It's continual. And the advocacy is it's the hidden factor that you don't see because they're fighting the hospitals and fighting the insurance companies and they're working behind the scenes. And that probably has the biggest impact overall. But I think you look at the support and the education, and that has the personal impact that, a lot of people look for with Mended Little Hearts and Mended Hearts as an organization.
Right. And Balls, I appreciate you kind of going through and giving us kind of a rundown of like what the foundation is, what it does, how it helps people. What I would like to kind of get into now is, you bring up Maddox, you bring up your son, right? And before we get into this, or before I bring you or flood you with a question, I just want people out there to take a second and think about it, right? If you have children, if you are a parent, a father, a mother, the most important thing in your life or people in your life are your children, or they should be. Think about having a child that is born, whether it's a heart defect, whether it's some other kind of defect, a disability, right? It's very hard. I don't know the true feeling because I don't have any children. I have one of my daughters is very slow at learning. She's very behind. She's had to battle through that the whole time. But I don't have that. I haven't had a child personally, but I can't even imagine like what you have to go through and the things you have to go through. So think about that and think about this as I bring this next question in for my man Balls. Let's talk a little bit about Maddox, okay? Let's talk about, so what exactly was it? What kind of heart defect, what kind of heart condition was Maddox born with?
Well, you said you don't know how we kind of cope with it, and it's funny. I wear a bracelet every day, Mended Little Hearts. It's very worn out. I've been wearing it for 5 years. Come the 25th, you guys will find out.
Right.
But on it, it says "Little Hearts Hold Big Hopes," and it's just a constant reminder that, yeah, it may be a little tough for me to accept some things, but I look at that little boy, or you look at some of them kids, and them little kids are just warriors, man. They're battlers. They don't care about the odds. They don't care about the circumstances. They put on a smile every day, and that's the thing. So with Maddox, we went for our 18 weeks. We were going to go find out the gender of our baby. And we went in and, at our local hospital, they kind of get a bad rap. It's a community hospital. It's not the best of the best. We're away from Rockford, which is our nearest hospital by us, where Maddox was born. So they kind of get a bad rap. And as the lady was doing, her check, and, obviously right away we knew it was a boy. I could tell. She was like, "I hope you guys wanted to know," and we were very excited. But Molly started to get worried because they went out of the room for a little bit because they check vitals, they check the heart and everything, and I was just so ecstatic, man. Like my mind was racing. I'm having a boy, and
Molly was more nervous. She was quiet. And they came back, and the doctor's like, I don't want to scare you guys, but I need you guys. It was like a Tuesday. She's like, Friday, I need you guys to go to Rockford and be in Rockford for a checkup. And at the time, I was working overnights. Molly worked days, but obviously, with her being pregnant, I just stayed up, drove to Rockford, about an hour away. And that's when Maddox was diagnosed as having tetralogy of Fallot. Before I kind of describe what it is, I thank God every day that we found out in utero that he was going to have it. Obviously it's tough.
It's all right, brother. It's authentic, man.
It gave me a lot of time to prepare mentally, to be ready, to ask questions that a lot of parents don't get, because a lot of parents find out the day their child's born. I thank God that nurse at our local hospital had the wherewithal to think and send us. And she told us later on, because we went to checkups, she said, I studied tetralogy because it's super rare within kids. That's one of the rare heart defects. And she said, when I looked at it, she said, I went to the doctor and told him, I said, this baby has tetralogy of Fallot. And she just said, I was put here for that. And so what tetralogy is it's 4 different heart defects built into one at birth. You have pulmonary valve stenosis, spinal defect, an overriding aorta, and right ventricle hypertrophy, and a bunch of medical terms, obviously. A lot going on there. Moral of the story is oxygen poor blood is flowing throughout the heart and the body, and the heart's struggling to pump. It's pumping too hard. It's not communicating, because you always see the heart. They show the heart as a muscle beating. And you think about that muscle beating, there's all those electrical impulses that are going. And if one electrical impulse is working a little bit harder, now your heart's beating out of rhythm, and it's working not the way it should.
Right.
So luckily we found out at 18 weeks that Maddox was going to have a heart condition. And at 22 weeks, we had a game plan of, I had already toured Rockford's NICU. I knew what to expect, because Maddox spent the first 18 days of his life in a NICU, in an incubator that we couldn't touch him. I didn't get to hold him. I mean, I held him after he was born for about 7 seconds. Molly held him for about 7, and then he was whisked away. But we found out at about 22 weeks, I went through the NICU, and I've seen things, man, that it's tough. I still struggle. I've got some depression. I feel like I have some PTSD. I'm terrible. I never answer my phone because it's never on ring. Little beeps sometimes bother me. But we walked through at 22 weeks, and I was mentally prepared that when Maddox was born, he was going to go into this kind of situation.
Right.
So what happened is from 22 weeks, we visited on Mondays and Fridays was Rockford. I worked overnights, got off at 3 o'clock in the morning, and Rockford's about an hour away. Our appointment's at 8 o'clock. So we'd leave about 6:30, so we were there early. So I'd get home, sleep for about 2 hours, get up, drive to Rockford. By the time we were done with all of our appointments, I'd drive home. Right away, we're back into work, So I wasn't sleeping Monday nights at all, going straight to work. Wednesdays, we'd drive to Chicago. Chicago, I'd have to stay up no matter what because we were hitting rush hour traffic. We were going to the University of Rush in downtown Chicago. From my house, it's one straight interstate, which is okay, but you hit rush hour traffic all the way downtown Chicago. So what should take you 2 hours takes you 5. So we were leaving right after I got off work to make it to Rush before rush hour traffic, and we just get breakfast, accommodate ourselves there. And then on Friday, I'd have to go to Rockford again and do it. We did that every week from weeks 22 to 38. I don't have anything to drink by me. On May 1st, we went in for 38 weeks, and Maddox's heart was decelling. So, it should be pumping at a certain rate, and it wasn't. So the doctor decided we're taking Maddox today. He was born during the Packers pick. It was kind of funny. I'm not kidding. So we had the NFL draft on. It's NFL draft weekend, and the Bears are picking, and whatnot. And I got Bears stuff on the day he's born because the draft. I didn't expect to be in the hospital all day. So when I got up that morning, I just dressed in Bears stuff. And it was with the 62nd pick. The Packers selected Quentin Rollins, cornerback out of, I think it's Temple.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was born exactly. The room got super quiet when I saw him, obviously. And that's all I could hear was just not him crying, none of that. Just the Packers pick for some reason. And like I said, I got to hold him, and then he went. And, he was up there for 18 days, which was a blessing in disguise. Because like I said, there's children that the day they're born, their heart's not working well enough that
right.
They're going to surgery today.
Right.
Maddox got to come home. Our goal was to make it 4 months before he'd have to have open heart surgery. And we were 7 days short. Maddox had open heart surgery on 8/25, 2015. The longest day of my life. It's weird. I slept 40 minutes the night before, and it was the best sleep of my entire life. I zonked out. I slept. Molly didn't. I slept 45 minutes, 40 minutes, and I felt good for about the next 72 hours that I didn't sleep. He had open heart surgery, and it went really well. He had a blood clot in his leg afterwards, which we had to give him shots when he came home for. It eventually went away, but it was very nerve-wracking for a bit. But it caused his surgery. They told us they would be out of surgery at about 3 o'clock. We get to see him about 5. And it was going on about 9:30 at night, and I hadn't seen him yet. No word from the doctor. When the doctor came out, you could tell. You could just see the stress in his face, the look in his eyes. And, you could see where he had his goggles on, the line from the goggles on his face. And he was like, we did it. He's good. He's going to be okay. And Maddox's heart's been repaired, man. By no means is it fixed.
Right.
He'll have to have some sort of probably second surgery. Won't be open heart, hopefully. Probably in the next 10 years, 10 to 12. Hoping that they can go up through his leg for it. And if they go through his leg, it'll be a way easier heal. It's not open heart. They should be able to do everything through there. But, his checkups We only go, once a year now because his heart's looking great. But the next day, the first 3 days are a complete blur. I had a notebook. I still have the notebook where I wrote down every reading they'd give us for every hour. And I could ask the doctors, what does this mean? And it dropped between these hours. Why is that medication running off?
Right.
Is it? I obviously don't understand it, but help me understand
Right.
where he's at in the process. And it was on 8/27. They gave us a full day to be with Maddox, to be a family. Marley wasn't there. Me and Molly with Maddox, a full day with the doctors before they'd allow anybody there. And on 8/27, it was Mended Little Hearts showed up. And it was 2 people. The hospital had asked us, they said, we have a group that comes around. Would you like to talk to them? They'll give you some information on where to go after here. What kind of programs can help you either financially, emotionally, socially. And we said, yeah. And 2 ladies showed up. And it's kind of that feel that you get with the card community to kind of bring it all together, if you're thinking about it, where I don't know personally a lot of people. I know you personally.
Right.
I feel like I've met these people. I care about a lot of these people, It's that bond that person is too lazy to care about us. And you could tell that they were so emotionally invested in us and how we felt and how they could help. And I mean, those ladies still contact and talk to Molly to this day.
Awesome.
But they provided a few booklets, and I'm talking binders with, if you need this kind of doctor, if you're looking for this type of insurance, if they're denying this, here's your next step.
Right.
To where Maddox, we were left with a big health bill, but it could have been way worse. We're still fighting to this day, paying a lot of it off, but I mean, we're still building as a family. We're still doing heads above water.
Right.
But it's a financial burden as well as a health burden too for a lot of people. And Mended Little Hearts is an organization that just steps up, and it doesn't matter what you've been through as a person, who you are as a person. What matters is you have a child that has a need,
Right.
and they want to be a part of that to help you. And they gave us what they call as a bravery bag. It was that care package I was talking about.
Yep.
And I've described it before. It's got toothpaste, deodorant, things that like I said, some parents don't have the chance. You pack to go to a hospital to be there maybe for a day or two.
Right.
Hoping your child will come home.
Right.
Where, we packed for a week and we were up there 18 days. Thank God Rockford was close and we could drive. But Mended Little Hearts gave us this box of items that you may need. It had food vouchers for the, food court down there. It had your learning materials. They knew that we had a daughter with Marley because we had provided that information. They brought Marley coloring books, word searches, things that if she were in the hospital to keep her busy.
Right.
And just provided support more than anything at that moment because it was super dark. My mom lived in Florida at the time. She was not available here. My dad had to work, obviously. He wasn't working too much, I don't think. He was calling me a lot,
Right.
texting me about every hour.
Right.
But I shut my phone off for a lot of it. because I had to focus on where I was at. And Maddox came home after 7 days. He was there for a week, came home in 7 days, and been flying since. But just because Maddox has been out doesn't mean Mended Little Hearts has ever stopped.
Right.
Like I said, they remain in contact with Molly. Ask. They know that his birthday is May 1st. And they know that we schedule Maddox on his birthday. I feel bad for the kid, but we make him go to the heart doctor on his birthday every year.
That's good.
It's just because we know on May 1st, hey, doctor's open.
Right.
You're going to go. We're going to get your annual checkup on your birthday. The doctor loves it. He loves seeing Maddox progress and gets to see him on his birthday. And they're within a day or two, they're contacting and wanting to know, hey, how was the last checkup?
Right.
You know, how are things going? You know, every circumstance, every CHD is different.
Right.
And the way I've been impacted may be different from any other family out there. You know, I think the emotional support stood out for my family more than anything. Like I said, they do a White Sox game, which is awesome. We met a ton of families. We got to go out on the field, take a picture as Mended Little Hearts of Chicago. Here we are at a White Sox game celebrating. That was Maddox's first ball game he's ever been to. It was Marley's first ball game she's ever been to. You know, they've done the hospital, Rockford Hospital does a once a year thing where any baby that was born in the NICU gets to come back and they have a NICU party. And it's been neat because we see his nurses, the nurses that were there with him the 18 days, and they get to kind of see every year's progression. And it's organizations like Mended Little Hearts that make that possible. They'll come in and cater that event with Subway, with cookies, with prizes for the kids. Just, it's that community support that you're looking for.
Right.
That not a lot of people can relate to, even if every circumstance is different. But, you know, a lot of my buddies don't have a child that have gone through something like this.
Right.
A lot of their children live a typical childhood.
Yeah.
You know, and
normal, if we can say normal.
Normal, yeah, as best as you can say. Obviously, circumstances vary across the board, but you get people that it's not the same, but it's that common bond, and it's really neat. Some of the friendships we've built there.
And you, Balls, you also, I mean, I think you've done a good job, kind of the overview of, you know, the impact Mended Little Hearts has had on your family, Maddox's, you know, life as well. You had shared with me before, like, you know, like you said, the financial, the emotional, the social support. You've also shared, like, with some of that stuff, like simple things, like you said, like before too, with the deodorant, with the toothpaste, like bringing that stuff when you're not prepared to stay. You've also shared with me personally, like they map things out. They map things out for you, which they probably do for most families. Like, hey, when you're going to this hospital, you know, you might be traveling somewhere. It's 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours away, wherever a family may have to go for seeing the heart specialist or for having procedures done. And, you know, where you can park, where there's free parking that's close to the hospital, where there's cheap places to stay if you're going to have to stay a long time, you know, the backing and the help of that. And I know you also said, you know, you're still dealing with some financial burden, right? But like you said, you guys you're moving strong, and I know you guys are doing well. I know that personally because I know you personally. But as you are financially going through those struggles, and I know you know this, I know you appreciate this, but I want other people out there that are maybe watching this or watching this later, is think about when there's no amount of money, there's no financial burden that could replace the life of your child, right? And
Oh,
like you said, you're thankful that that nurse at 18 weeks, when he was 18 weeks in your girlfriend's belly, right? Still progressing, still growing. For her to find and know that, hey, Maddox has this condition, like you said earlier, is a blessing, and that it was caught then and not when he was born. Again, I just want to kind of say this because I feel like this is a really good time to kind of just to bring this out and talk about like important things in life versus not important things in life, because as this is all about Mended Little Hearts, kind of a Q&A and what they're about, this is also about us giving people information because we are going to be doing this auction, which he did touch on the date of the 25th and why the 25th is so important to him, to Maddox, to his family, and why we are doing this on the 25th, right? Which so happens to fall on a Tuesday, which is even awesomer because that's typically when I would do auctions. We would change,
5 year,
but yeah,
5 year anniversary.
5 years, 5 year
Yeah.
anniversary. So this is a big deal. And again, stressing the importance of what's really important in life, and that materialistic things, uh, things that we bicker about, that we don't win because we do something or we do great things, we don't win something, or poor me, why don't I get this? Why don't I get that? I do all these things for people. Why doesn't anything good happen to me? Are you sure that when you're saying that, I'm not talking to you, Ball, specifically, I'm talking to people watching here. Are you sure that when you say nothing good in your life has happened to you, that you're looking at that in the right angle and in the right direction? Or are you looking at what it is that you have that's materialistic, like, oh, a nice fancy house, a nice brand new car, you know, take a step back.
There's two things too. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it two ways from here too. There was a sign as you washed your hands when you went into the NICU because you had to wear full scrubs because it's not just Maddox in there; it's other children dealing with other things.
Right.
So if you're going into there, you better treat other children like you would want your child treated when you're going in fully scrubbing. And it said right where you washed your hands and you put your gloves on, it said priorities. I may not have the nicest car. I may not have the nicest house. I may not own the best things in life. But if I've made the impact in one child's life, that'll matter all the difference. I got that picture on my phone to this day. I shared it with Jonathan Coker. I love Coker. He battles through some of it. Coker's been a huge help with me. Me and him relate on a level that a lot of the guys in the hobby can't. And
Right.
it's okay. It's okay. But we found a common bond. And that's what Mended Little Hearts does too. And then the second thing, kind of to bring it full circle, it is hard for everybody to help participate, even financially. But like I said, the little things matter the most. And I look down, I see this bracelet. This bracelet meant probably the least out of everything in that basket at the time. It was awesome to get the deodorant. It was awesome to get that. But this little bracelet served as a reminder for the last 5 years for me.
Right.
I mean, you guys can see that wear.
Oh yeah.
I'm off. You guys can see the wear on
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
It hasn't left. It stays on no matter where I'm at. And it's the little things. You can't help financially in this auction, that's fine. A simple retweet. Help
Right.
share the word. That's the thing, is I can't change everything with this.
Right.
But if we can make a little bit of an impact, it's going to be awesome. Those bravery bags, if we provided to 10 families, 10 families are going to remember that the rest of their lives. I still have the blanket they gave Maddox.
And
They gave us a onesie.
so
You know,
so how much on average, how much money would it cost, or how much money on average do you think it runs for, say, 10 bravery bags? Like,
probably $1,000, I would say, close to, because they bring enough stuff. I mean, there's parking vouchers for the hospitals they work with. Obviously, some of that stuff's donated,
right,
but I would say value wise, you're looking at over $100 in that bag that they give people.
right,
And it's, it can make all the difference to the people that aren't prepared. Like I said, I was blessed enough to know, but I've also seen families that have been rushed in. And here you think you had a perfect pregnancy, and your child comes out and your child's blue in the hands and the feet and in the mouth. And your child, who you've been looking forward to for 40 weeks, now has a condition that you weren't ready for.
right.
And like I said, I thank God every day I was prepared as best I could be. I wasn't ever ready for this, won't ever be still.
Right.
It's always new challenges every time. But there's more than just Maddox's heart condition. He's got, some learning disabilities, because a lot of children that do have CHDs have other genetic conditions that go with it. And Maddox has a genetic deletion that has caused more mental and social delays in his life as part of this, Right. So it isn't just one step, it's all of it as a whole picture. And we were lucky enough to have it. Some people aren't. And, the bravery bags, it seems like the smallest thing in the world, but it's incredible the difference it makes. I'll never forget. I told Molly, I go, if we would have forgot our toothpaste and our toothbrushes, they brought one for me, Molly, Marley.
Right.
They made sure each one of us was taken care of. There was a Sports Illustrated in there for me. Just so I had something. I read that Sports Illustrated front to back. You know what I mean? So
Alex just said, "Can I donate 100 for one of the bravery bags?" So I sent it to you. So if you want to just make a direct donation, direct to Mended Little Hearts, because what'll happen is once we do the auction, whatever money goes through the cards that we sell Tuesday night, that money will be donated through the link. We'll post it like we did when we did for the Crohn's and colitis and whatever else, showing that the money has been donated. But if you want to donate direct to them, there is a link in the description below. It should work, and that's direct to Mended Little Hearts. You can donate direct to them. So Alex, if you want to do that, man, that's incredible. That is awesome. We can't thank you enough. Nobody has to, but if you want to do that, you can. Otherwise, like once we do the auction Tuesday night, all the money that's raised, we'll do a donation through the link the same way. We'll donate it, we'll post it, to show that the money's donated, all that good stuff. But yeah, if you want, the link should work in the description below. Had to go a different route because OBS and everything else wasn't working earlier. So I think I got everything in there. This is all new to me. I've never used StreamYard. This is my first time using it because we didn't have any audio the first go around. So, but yeah, I didn't want to cut balls off. I just saw Alex mention that, so that is awesome. So,
no, and that's perfect. I would say this: if you are going to donate, there will be a drop down. It will say Mended Hearts or Mended Little Hearts. Yeah. And there's an area to leave a comment. Leave a comment and say, I would like these to be used towards bravery bags, if you would like. Right. I mean, if you donated to Mended Hearts, that's for adults. It's the same condition, just for older people that have found out later in life that have some of the same unique struggles that parents with children do. So there is a drop down if you guys want to do that.
Guns. Yeah, so I mean, where we left off. I kind of got off course just reading Alex's thing because I thought it was important because he wanted to donate direct. But yeah, otherwise, Alex, if you want to wait till Tuesday night, like I said, this is kind of just the details so people have a better understanding or know a little bit more about the foundation and why we're doing this. Like, why it wasn't just something that like I was like, oh, hey, I want to do an auction for this organization. I wanted you guys to understand why we're doing this. Me and Balls have I wanted to do this for a long time with Balls. We just it just kind of put off because things come up, other things came up. We did other things for other foundations. Didn't want to have a bunch of things going on at one time. Other people are doing things for great organizations. We just didn't want to have a bunch of stuff going on at the same time. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not the right way to go at things. I personally feel so. That's where we're at. And again, guys, the 25th. The reason why it's so important is because again, it's the 5-year anniversary for Maddox, which is just huge. And again, I want to just touch on it one more time. Just listening to Matt earlier today, just kind of talk about it, to go in detail about the whole how he found out with his son. And remember, this is just the story of his son, right? Because this is who we have that we know that's connected, that this foundation's made an impact on. There's thousands beyond thousands, and there's children that are constantly born with
1 in every 110.
Yeah, and I've never really personally shared this, but I have one of my close cousins. He's 6 years older than I am. Their first child actually was born with a hole. She had a hole in her heart, and they had a scheduled procedure. It was supposed to be a simple thing. It was supposed to go smooth. It was supposed to be everything was going to be fine. Like that's what the doctors at least were all saying. They live in Rochester, which is where Mayo Clinic is. Mayo is supposed to be one of the premier hospitals, have some of the best doctors in the world at that hospital. They actually live in Rochester. They had the scheduled procedure to have this heart surgery done. And the day before the scheduled surgery, their daughter started to turn blue and started to discolor. So they had called 911. They had rushed their baby daughter to the hospital. And by the time they got to the hospital, it was too late. They lost her. I've never personally probably ever talked about it. I've never really shared it. I just share this now because it's the same thing, man. It's heart defect, it's heart conditions, it's what this organization does and has helped. We've heard it firsthand here from our good friend Matt Bosley. We've seen him discuss what they have done for him and his family, and you can only imagine what they've done for, like I said, thousands and thousands of other families.
300 local chapters all across the United States. There's 50 states. There's 6 in each state, roughly, that are out there helping change things. So,
right,
the money goes to help people in need, and it helps with educating because, like you said, some people unfortunately don't find out right away, and
Jim makes
and education is a vital part of that. So any way to contribute to that is awesome.
I think it's interesting you say that, Balls, the education thing, because I think education, it's important in this. I mean, it's important in anything in life, right? I think sometimes we aren't educated properly on certain things or certain situations, and therefore we just jump to whatever understanding that we feel we have on a certain situation, and then we just go with our instinct on, well, this is what I believe about this, but I don't really understand this, but I'm gonna put my 2 cents in, and I'm gonna say this, and a lot of times that backfires on us. It's happened to all of us. I can guarantee you there's been a time where you have been in a situation, whatever it is, you've been uneducated about the situation, you felt you were educated, but you really didn't understand or didn't really know what was going on, or maybe you just didn't have an understanding of what somebody was going through, and you did something. I've done it more than once. I tell you guys all the time, I have many flaws. I fuck up all the time, but I'm all right with it. I learn from it. I try to improve myself that way, and we can all do that. Balls just dropped another link. Jim F put a good comment in here. He said it almost has the delays with you guys doing this were so that it could happen on Max's 5-year anniversary.
And I got something to say about that too. It was funny because we had talked, and Jeff, I didn't suggest this. He brought it up to me, which I was on board, and we needed some time to prepare. So we said, let's shoot for a month, 5 weeks from now. And he looked, and he just so happened to look, and he said, how about 8/25? You were the one that called the date, not me.
Right.
And I was like, that's a perfect date. And it did line up. I think it lined up perfect. Molly's super excited for it. It's awesome to see something like this, because we have donated our time. I like to always donate on Maddox's birthday. Just a few, $20 on his birthday every year. We do something like that. And it's just an organization that I can't put into words what they do. It's a feeling, which is different. You can't describe happiness in a sentence. You can't describe comfort in a sentence and cover what it is. You can't describe community in one sentence.
Right.
And that's what Mended Little Hearts is. They can't be described as just an organization. They're more than that. They're family that we've built outside. So it'll be cool. I mean, you guys need to check it out, because I sent Jeff a package yesterday for Tuesday night.
Oh, that's going to remind me. I wanted to do these on here. I didn't get the mail from BITG yet. I do want to add in there too, because I was going to try to unbox. Like, I got my month's worth of hits because I just have them stack everything up. So there's going to be a ton of stuff. But he also, Tom T, I got to say this before I go through this. Tom T had donated a Bowman blaster box to be auctioned on the auction Tuesday night. So BITG upped it to do a little donation as well. So he switched it from a blaster to a Bowman mega box. So there'll be a Bowman mega box auction on behalf of Tom T and BITG Brakes. And then Chachi Chad had sent some cards. He sent like a Bobo pink, optic pink card. We went through those probably about a week ago or so. I do want to share these. Jim F had sent cards. I've had these packages sitting here. Bobby S sent packages. I'm sure there's gonna be other people, but he sent some cards.
I sent one.
Yeah, and then Balls obviously sent his package, which will be here Monday. So BITG's package will be here sometime this afternoon, and then Balls will be here Monday. So we got a Darius Slayton Origins RPA, which Jim sent. These are to be auctioned as well. Let's see, a Burt Blyleven, Diamond Kings auto patch. I don't know. He's got some twins in here. I don't know if some of this stuff was PC or for all for the auction. He can let me know. Rod Carew, Kellogg's. That's a cool card. Rod Carew, MVP. That's dope. Auto. Kirby Puckett. I think he threw some PC in here too. But Ryan Kerrigan, Max Impact Spectra. You guys, I mean, it's incredible. It's amazing. Every time somebody does something in the community, like Jimmy's things he's done, the Toots for Cuffs. I mean,
Sticks for Soldiers. I mean,
there's the Rip and Gypsy and the gang coming together to do the Crohn's and Colitis thing with Eric Heck and crew and everybody behind it.
Tyler Murphy right now on Twitter is doing, if you donate $1, he has You donate $1, he's donating it all to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America, I think. And you, for each dollar you enter, you get a drawing into blaster box, cello packs, and a mega, I think, of Chronicles. There's a lot of people doing a lot of great things in the hobby right now.
Moldy, I didn't say what's up to you, Peds. I missed you. Sorry, guys. What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Now, this is from Bobby S. Bobby Saparo, I have to give him a huge shout out too. He has sent insane amounts of auto cards, hit cards. He did for Crohn's and colitis, like with Steve Aarons as well. He did when we were raising money for Crazy, in his when his pops passed. He sent a bunch of cards that we auctioned off. So here's some of the stuff he sent for this one. We got a Bobby Witt Bowman on card auto. That'll be in the auction. We got an Aaron Judge relic. I don't know if that's numbered. Diamond Kings doesn't look numbered. We got a Shane Bieber. Alex B, where you at? Shane Bieber auto. That is numbered to 299. Again, these are per Bobby Saparo. This is dope. Raleigh Fingers. Jim F. Schmitty. Tier 1. Raleigh Fingers on card auto. That's numbered to 299. How about an Acuna Fire rookie? Is that numbered? Not numbered. Kyle Lewis, fan favorites, Mojo rookie. How about a Robert Tops rookie? How about a Tatis Chrome rookie debut rookie? Bo Bichette, Kerry Wood, those Cub fans, Sterling, DJ, Kerry Wood on card auto, Grisham rookie, Kyle Lewis Tops rookie, Finest Kyle Lewis, Joe Burrow, Tua. There's also a $20 PayPal that will be given away to somebody during the auction, courtesy of Jesse, Superman 05. My man Rodney Smith, 25. I'll have to be bidding on that one.
Can I say something real quick, too?
Yeah.
While you're showing them, I'm sorry I'm interrupting, but to everybody, Zion, that's nasty. Ja right behind it. Everybody that's donated cards, donated money, that will bid on auction items, that throws a simple retweet. I can't thank you guys enough. Everybody that's helped grow this thing and will help support it, thank you for your guys' time. It makes all the difference in the world to me and my family, and I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
It's important, and this is very, very important to me, as Balls is a very good friend of mine, very close to me. He's really been the one that's, I guess, been there from the jump, from day one, since we really started this whole thing. I know Jimmy's another one out there that, like, to be honest, I mean, I go back to my original first. I'll never forget this day. My first time my first Mini Haha stream, Mini Haha fall stream, right? I do that annually, and it was really just, I don't know, I had maybe 300 subscribers. Not that it matters, but I'm just trying to kind of give you guys a sense, or a general sense of where it was at. This is when I was breaking. I kind of stopped breaking. I never really even cared about pushing my YouTube channel. I never did anything, subscribed to it when I was doing card breaks back then. It was a great little community we built, but I never really did any push on it was just more Twitter. Like, I was so Twitter push back then. That's when I had the old Twitter. But I went live and I did the Mini Haha stream. Me and Zoe were out there, and Balsley was really the only one that was with me throughout the whole time. And then I remember Jimmy came on too, and I'll never forget that stream. Jimmy came on, as Jimmy was already a part of, he was there with when I was RPA breaks. He was through that whole thing. He was, me and him connected way back then. But doing that Mini Haha stream, Jimmy had came in later on as well and joined, basically me and Balls. And I remember like we did the whole stream at Minnehaha. I kept the stream on as we drove back. Drove back. This is when I was actually staying in the hotel and just kind of open up a little bit more and kind of told my story and kind of some of the things I had went through and gone through. But again, I can't thank Balls. I can't thank all of you guys enough for all your support. I apologize for kind of where I've been, the place I've been lately. Just a lot of things happening all at one time, as there is for everybody. You know, my daughter leaving, that was not easy. That was tough, but I know it's temporary, as I tell her whenever I have a chance to send her a message or speak with her, which I know she's doing well. I know she's doing good, but just battling my own things, you know. So 100 for the Bieber. I mean, if you want, I don't think it'll bid over 100. If you really want to do that, I can put your name on it. Are you sure you want to bid 100 for it? I don't think anyone's going to bid. I mean, realistically, for a 299 Bieber, $100. So, I mean, if you want to do that, brother, you can. Otherwise, we can wait till the auction Tuesday. Let me know. So, thanks, TCC. I tried to gather that quickly. Jacob, I mean, all you guys, man. I can't thank all you guys enough. I don't know where Matt went. I don't know if I'm trying to get you guys out of here because we've been a little over an hour now. I wasn't planning on this being this long. And I got to go take the girls and do some school shopping this afternoon. So, but again, man, you guys are all awesome. I'm looking forward to Crazy. Good seeing you in here, man. Again, if I haven't been around, if you haven't seen me, like if you do streams and you haven't seen me much, um, I'm not trying to ignore you. It's just I've been kind of in a different place for like the last month, 2 months. So yeah, I don't know what Balls is doing, man. Balls, trying to close this out. I don't know. I'm not sure where he went. Hey, Balls. Okay, I'm trying to get you guys out of here, man. Um, but yeah, I guess really, guys, again, it's gonna start probably about 6 p.m. on Tuesday night, roughly. I just kind of say roughly because it's hard for me to commit to an exact time these days, like right at 6, because if I'm working up till 10 to 6 and I have no time to get everything set up, you know, it's going to be probably more like 6:15, 6:30. Or if I haven't been able to eat all day and I gotta eat, you know, it's another deal. So, but he's really throwing me off here with walking away. I'm not sure what he's doing. Well, crazy. I don't see many either. So it's probably because I disappeared or I left, but took a break. So we're gonna see what we can do. I'm not gonna plan. It's not gonna be an auction that ends at 9 o'clock. It's gonna go until the wheels fall off, man. I'm gonna be pulling probably some my own PC cards, a couple bigger cards, because we do have a goal set in mind, and I will release that goal here before Tuesday on what we would like to see or what we'd like to hit. So, but so is Balls just not a part of the stream anymore, or what's going on here? All right, I'm not sure where he went or what he's doing, but I guess I'm going to end the stream here, guys. So, on behalf of me and on behalf of my co-host Ballsley, who I guess we lost, we appreciate you guys joining, And I hope you guys got some good information out of this. Jacob, hope all is well with you as well, man. And yeah, if not before then, I'll see you guys maybe in a few streams. Otherwise, we'll see you Tuesday nights. We'll see you guys soon. Appreciate you guys coming in. Love y'all. Be good.